Hey, what's going on people? It's Alex and welcome to another outdoor video. This week I'm going to be showing you how I set up my hammock and tarp. Hope you enjoy. The hammock that I'm going to be using in this setup video today is the DD Frontline Hammock. I've had this DD hammock for a couple of months now and I've put a few videos on YouTube to which I've received some really interesting feedback from a few members of the community in terms of how to set it up, how to tighten better knots, etc, etc. So thank you very much to Burton Outdoors, thank you to CJ, thank you to Alan at Jim Bob Outdoors, and thank you to Craig as well for posting those comments and helping me. So this is really learnt from the community, which is really exciting. So I'm going to start by getting out the hammock and we're going to get it set up. So let's have a look. So the first thing that I've done to make it a little bit easier to set up this hammock up is I've removed the straps that DD supply the hammock with, and I have attached what's called a continuous loop. And I bought this from a company called Hammocks, and I'll put the link in the description. This continuous loop makes it a lot easier and a lot more lightweight to carry around, and it makes it easier to hang up, as I will show you in a moment as well. So as you can see, it's a little bit fiddly putting the continuous loops on, but once you've done it, your hammock should look just like that, which makes it a lot lighter and a lot easier to set up as well. Now, a lot of hammocks have already got a similar sort of attachment like this already added, but if yours has ropes that you can take out, then I'd suggest using a continuous loop, because as you'll see, it makes it so much easier. For my hammock setup, I'm going to be using daisy chains. These are really easy to use, they're super sturdy, and they're pretty cheap and affordable. These were from Amazon, I believe. Just pretty cheap ones. You don't have to get, you know, branded ones or anything like that. Any sort of daisy chain attachment will do. A daisy chain rope has two ends, like most ropes, but one end has a loop followed by clear cord all the way down to where your daisy chains are. And there's probably about 10 or 12 of them on this, and this will help you to adjust the height of your hammock. So let's put it on the tree. The first thing I'm going to do when I'm attaching the daisy chain to the tree is just put both sides around, give it a loop. Don't worry about the height just yet, because I'm going to adjust that after. And then when you want to tighten, you want to put the daisy chain end through the single loop, just like that. Give it a good pull. You can take your daisy chain up a little bit. I'm putting mine at about head height, and then you give that a good pull. This way that now you've got all of the daisy chains ready to go, so that you really can adjust the height of your hammock to your preference. Let's go and do the other tree, and then we'll get the bad boy put in the middle. Both daisy chains are on the trees now. It's time to get the hammock up. So when you have a pitch for your hammock, try and make sure that there's not too many brambles on the floor. There are a couple around here, but I'm going to move them out of the way gently, just so that I don't snag my hammock and damage it. So I'm just going to simply clip the hammock onto the daisy chains. We should be good to go. The brilliant thing about these daisy chain attachments is that if you step back and look at your hammock and you think that it's too low or high on one side, you can quite easily just change the height by using your carabiner here. So if you had tied a knot, then this would have proved quite difficult, but you can just bring it up a couple of rungs, and that looks a little bit more sturdy. So I think it's time to test it out. Okay, let's give this a go. Ooh. Brilliant. So that is basically how to set up the hammock. Of course, you've got the tarp to come as well, but if it was a night where you don't expect much rain and you're quite comfortable doing it without the tarp, then there you are, you're all done. Most of the time in England you do have a reasonable chance of rain, so it's always safe to get the tarp up overnight anyway. So let's get that bad boy up as well. To set up a tarp, you're going to need a ridge line For that you need rope. So I've got 10 meters of paracord here, which is perfect because my trees are about 3 to 4 meters apart, which is about what you want when you're setting up a hammock. So I'm going to tie a ridge line and then we'll stick the tarp over it. To tie the first knot to the tree, I like to make a simple loop in one of the ends of the rope, and you're going to see why that's going to be useful in just a moment. So firstly, for this knot, you're going to put your looped end around the tree. Pull it, pull it, pull it, give it a lot of slack. Then that top one, where the loop is going to go underneath and come back on itself and go back around the tree. Depends how big your tree is, obviously you're going to have to adjust it. So once the loop's returned around the tree, the loop that we made earlier, this is going to go inside that. Then we use a stick as a toggle and tighten it up. And you can kind of ratchet it like that, and that's going to make it nice and steady and supported. And then we can go and do the other one. Ridgeline's all done now, which is just as well because it's just started raining, so I'm going to get the tarp up. So that's it. We've got a hammock and our tarp set up. I think that this is a simple and easy way to set up a hammock. And if your hammock isn't the same as my one, then maybe you've got a slightly different arrangement, but hopefully you can pull some tips from this video into your own setup as well. Thank you for everyone on YouTube who has given me some advice, because I was by no means a very good and a very experienced person when it comes to hammock camping, but I think I'm getting there now. So thank you so much to everyone that has had input in the last few weeks about the hammock. So it really has paid off, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, leave a like, give me some comments in the comment section down below, give me some feedback, and if you're new here, make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you next week for some more outdoor videos. Take care.